I've got my old childhood NASCAR Diecast collection right here in my hands, and now let's see what's inside. Oh my goodness, that's a lot of cars. I need to organize them in some way. I'm thinking let's do numerical order, make it nice and even, no big pile. Good thing I can speed this video up because the truth is that took a long time. But now it's over. I've got all my 1/64 scale diecast laid out on the table here in a nice orderly fashion. By my count, 192 cars. Now you might be thinking, hey, wait a minute. In that thumbnail you said 200 plus cars. You lied to us. No, I didn't. Because I've got even more cars that young Will decided not to take out of the packaging, including this Jeff Gordon monster truck. Does that count? I'm throwing it on the table. All right, so now we're over 200, 205 on the table. But wait, there's more. Last time I do this, I promise. Yeah, I've got a few big diecast too, so when you add those in, that raises it just a little more. Okay, now that we've got it all laid out on the table here, we can take a really good look at this collection, check out some of the unique cars, some of my favorite cars. Hey, also let me know what some of your favorite cars are in the comments down there. So let's talk about how I managed to get all these cars. I don't think it's a secret. I was a huge NASCAR fan growing up, and my parents knew this. So every time I'd go to Walmart with my mom and be a good kid, she would take me down the little toy aisle and we'd check, see if there's any cars, any numbers I don't have. If there was, usually she'd be nice enough to get me one. Of course, going straight to the source at the races themselves, went to Darlington, Charlotte a lot as a kid. We would check out the souvenir trailers outside before the race. We'd pick up a lot of cars that way. Also Publix, which is a grocery store chain in the Southeast where I grew up, they would always have NASCAR themed cakes you could order. So we ordered that just about every year for my birthday. And just about every year, they came with the same car, the number 6 of Mark Martin and the number 17 of Matt Kenseth. So lo and behold, I have a lot of 6 cars and a lot of 17 cars. And speaking of having a lot of versions of one car, I don't think it comes as a surprise which car I have the most of. It's this one right here. I've got a poster of Jeff Gordon's DuPont Chevrolet that he rocked back in the early 2000s, which was the height of my collecting days. Let's see here. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 of those alone. Oh, and speaking of 24 cars, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33 1/64 scale diecasts, and we also got some bigger versions up here too. Yeah, I was a Jeff Gordon fan for sure, but why do I have so many of the same car? Like, look at this. I got 4 Nicorette cars. I believe that's what he ran in 2006. Why do I have multiple versions? I'm still not so sure on that one. But speaking of Jeff, I got some cool ones here that I kept in their packaging. This one right here, 2000. A couple ones from 2007. They did winner's editions, 1/64 scale diecast. Really tried to keep these in good shape. This one here really means a lot to me because it is a race winner version from Darlington. I was actually there in person that day when Jeff won that race. You can see the car with the steamer right there, special edition hood. And another one, I wasn't at this race, but this was a special paint scheme. He only ran it one time. This Pepsi car here in the Talladega Fall race, also in 2007. That was a fun time watching him win that one on TV. And now let me show you the Jeff Gordon car that probably means the most to me. Got to keep it in the box because it's that special. Go back to 2006. Young Will, it's his birthday. He gets to meet Jeff Gordon at an appearance, and Jeff signs this very car. Special edition 2006 Pepsi scheme he drove. Didn't drive it to victory lane. But you know what? I got the man's signature on the windshield with that special sticker of authenticity. Meant a lot to young Will. Hey, thanks for making it all the way through the Jeff Gordon section of this video. Yeah, it's a lot of cars. But remember, it's only like 30-something cars. I have over 200 cars. So that's only just a small piece of the collection. And what I'm going to do now is show you the whole thing. We're going to go number by number, car by car, maybe tell you a little about each one along the way. So buckle up. And we'll start in the zeros. That's a paint scheme Ward Burton ran back in the mid-2000s. The '01 Army paint scheme, famously piloted by Mark Martin in the '07 Daytona 500. This one here, I think, is one Joe Nemechek ran. Now we're going to move on. These are year-specific cars. You buy a souvenir program at the race, they would give you a car to go with it. That's something we do a lot. So you can see I gained a lot of cars this way through my collection. A lot of trips to Darlington and Charlotte. There's the '07. Clint Boyer ran that. They wouldn't sell kids the Jack Daniels car, but we did get the DirecTV car. Got the NASCAR and Fox car from 2007. More Darlington and Charlotte. So many trips to Darlington and Charlotte. On to single digits. That number 1 Pennzoil scheme. Steve Park drove that to victory at Rockingham in '01. This number 1, that's Martin Truex's car, but he drove that part-time in 2005. Remember, when he went full-time, he drove more of a black scheme. Now, the number 2 here, Rusty, because they wouldn't put Miller Lite on the kids' cars. I wanted the actual authentic scheme, so I think back in 2013, I got this Keselowski scheme, but you can see here, they've got a little platform on it, so not meant to be a toy. On to the number 3s. These are schemes that Dale Jr. drove in the Busch Series back in the early 2000s. We got the number 4 Kodak paint scheme. On to the next row. This one here doesn't look as serious. Some kind of build your own, because look at those stickers that were added there. On to some more Hendrick number 5 cars. You got Kyle Busch's yellow and blue number 5. Terry Labonte's orange and blue number 5. This is Kyle Busch's Busch paint scheme right here. David Reagan's number 6. And we got lots of 6s. Thank you, Publix. Mark Martin drove both those paint schemes. David Reagan also ran the AAA one after Mark left Roush. You got Danica Patrick's number 7 and a Sirius Satellite Radio 7. Dale Jr.'s number 8. Once again, can't put alcohol on it, so it just says Dale Earnhardt Jr. Number 9 cars, Bill Elliott, Casey Kane drove those. Got the number 10. I remember Scott Riggs driving the Valvoline car. Why I have 2 of the same car, not so sure. Speaking of 10, here's another Danica car, her GoDaddy scheme. And we've now got number 10, 2010 Darlington car. Number 11 for Denny Hamlin. 11 Darlington car. Got some Penske 12s now here. I know Jeremy Mayfield drove this Mobile One scheme. We've got some Ryan Newman cars, Sony HDTV, and Alltel. And we got the Darlington 2012 scheme. On to the next row. Yeah, I went to Darlington again in 2013. Also got to see Kentucky. Got Tony Stewart's number 14. 2 Darlington 2014 cars. I don't know why. 14 Waste Management. 15 Darlington. First race back on Labor Day. Clint Boyer's 5-hour energy scheme. Michael Waltrip's Napa scheme. Famously drove the 2 Daytona 500 victories. 2016 Darlington car. Got some Greg Biffle action here. I love this scheme right here. Going back to my first year watching NASCAR in 2005. Greg Biffle won in that one a whole lot. As I mentioned earlier, lots of 17 cars. Thank you, Publix. Lots of 17 cars. Bobby Labonte's number 18. Jeremy Mayfield. And I guess you could also say Casey Atwood's 19. Got a Tony Stewart 20 car with the Coca-Cola polar bear on it. Couple 21s. Kevin Harvick drove those in the Busch Series. Got some Wood Brothers Fords, Motorcraft. Got some Joey Logano 22 cars here, too. At least I believe they're Joey Logano. That could have been pre-Logano, maybe Kurt Busch, A.J. Allmendinger days. The Caterpillar 22, Ward Burton won a Daytona 500 with that. I really love this car here. This is Kenny Wallace's Stacker 2 car. You might have seen that on my birthday cake earlier. All right, welcome back to Jeff Gordon Row. As we counted earlier, got about 30 of these. Tried to get as many different paint schemes as I could because I was a big Jeff Gordon fan. Got some iconic schemes here. The rainbow car from the 90s. Whole lot of flames from the 2000s. That, of course, was the scheme that I grew up watching Jeff race. This one here is a special scheme from the 2002 Daytona 500. Special DuPont 200 years car. Got some Bugs Bunny Looney Tunes action on this car. This one here, 2009, they decided to change the flames from blue and red to black and red. This is a 2012 Jeff Gordon car. They changed the DuPont scheme again. Got some Pepsi action now. He ran this one in the Busch Series. These are basically the same car, just one's COT and one is not. Special scheme he ran in 2006 Daytona Summer Race, I believe. It's the Superman Pepsi scheme. A pretty cool one, except I lost the rear tires, which is a shame. Got a Pepsi Max Gen 6 car. Some 2006 action. There's a Hot Hughes. A bunch of Nicorette schemes. Again, I don't know why, but they did change the scheme once they went to the COT, so this one's a little different. National Guard, I remember they sponsored him. They sponsored him when he won at Texas back in 2009. Drive to End Hunger, saw that scheme a lot towards the end of his career. Jeff Gordon Fan Club, 2013 member. He did not run this scheme, but hey, still looks pretty cool. And then we got some 25 cars to round out the row. Kmart and Shrek on the 26. Yeah, that's a little old. 26 Sharpie car. 27 Kleenex. Got some Ricky Rudd cars here in the 28. Kevin Harvick's 29. He drove this one to victory in the Daytona 500. Special ET scheme. This one's a little messed up. This is the one, of course, after he took over for Dale Earnhardt. He drove that to victory famously at Atlanta back in 2001. Scooby-Doo and AOL on the 30 car. Got some Jeff Burton Caterpillar action here. Robbie Gordon's 31 singular cars. Couple Tide rides, famously drove to victory by Ricky Craven at Darlington in 2003. Some 33 cars. There's Clint Boyer's Cheerios scheme. 35 McDonald's. Ken Schrader's 36 car right there. 38 drove by Elliott Sadler, another M&M scheme. Ryan Newman's 39 Army car. Now getting into the 40s, there's another one where they kept the alcohol off. No Coors Light, instead it says Sterling Marlin. 41 Target car driven by Jimmy Spencer. 42 Haviland car. This one's another build your own, I think, because you can see the stickers on here. That was Jeff Green's 43. I guess it was also Bobby Labonte's 43 too. Dale Jarrett's 44 once they made the switch over to Toyota. Kyle Petty's 45. We got Jimmy Johnson's 48. Kenny Schrader's Schwann's car, number 49. All right, we're on to the last row now. Got most of the numbers in the first 50. A lot more gaps as we keep going up here. Carrot Top on a car. Toys R Us, RIP. A lot of different 55 cars. 56 driven by Martin Truex Jr. The 60, that's Carl Edwards Busch Series scheme. Some more cars in the 60s were driven by Rusty Wallace's Busch team. This one here, I remember his son Stephen Wallace ran. This 66, Darrell Waltrip ran that towards the end of his career. 77 from Dave Blaney. Got a couple Red Bull cars in the 80s. Scott Speed, Brian Vickers. This one, Junior Motorsports, Dale Jr. ran a special scheme in the Nationwide Series back in the late 2000s. 87, that's Joe Nemechek, I believe. Got Dale Jarrett's UPS scheme. Couple more 88s. Few more 88s. That's Dale Jr. after he went to Hendrick. He's got Amp Energy, National Guard. Mountain Dew throwback he ran at Darlington back in 08. This is a really cool scheme to see hit the track. Ricky Rudd came back in 07, drove this Snickers scheme. And McDonald's, they must have loved the 90s. We got a 92, a couple 94s driven by Bill Elliott. Number 96 car. This was driven by a team where Troy Aikman was the co-owner. 97 Rubbermaid car from Kurt Busch. 98 Stacker 2. 99 Office Depot. Carl Edwards, the hot new rookie. And Aaron's Cat in the Hat scheme. That looks like a Busch Series car. Yes, it is. Driven by Michael Waltrip's team. And some more 99s here. Jeff Burton. And now let's look at some of these bigger cars. Some of the cars still in the packaging. Another McDonald's car in the 90s. I just have a 1/24 scale of this. Andy Houston drove this one. I've already told you about this Jeff Gordon Winners car. This number 21 here, special edition Dale Jarrett car. I believe he drove this to his first victory. Got a couple, well, it's not 164 and it's not 124, but somewhere in between. I've got a Jeff Gordon DuPont Flames. Just love that scheme. And I got a Bugs Bunny Looney Tunes car. Had the 164 version, and I have that version. This is a special car Jeff ran at Prelude to the Dream over at Eldor. I think it's got NASCAR 09 on it. Yes, it does. Still in its packaging. This is a National Guard COT car Jeff ran. I thought it was the one he drove to victory at Texas, but then I checked the tape, and Jeff ran a slightly different scheme in that victory. Dale Earnhardt 10th anniversary edition, celebrating his only Daytona 500 victory. But the thing about it is, they made it like a car that would be in 2008. You can see it's got the splitter, it's got the wing. Just looks wrong for that paint scheme. Number 88, got the small version of this. I got the 124 scale version of it too. Dale Jarrett's 88 UPS scheme. I told you I was throwing the monster truck on the table. That looks cool. Young Will should have played with it. Got another winter scheme. I don't know why I didn't take this out of the packaging. Maybe I did, because look how messed up it is. I told you about this Jeff Gordon winter scheme. Wally Dallenbach 46 Woody Woodpecker car. I don't know why I didn't take that one out either. That looks pretty cool. Another one, I think I took it out, but then I put it back in the packaging because, yeah, it's been torn up. But that's a Kentucky Speedway 2014 car. Went back there and watched the race. Got Rusty Wallace, Pontiac Excitement car. Black and yellow scheme from the 90s. Really cool. Now this one here called Adult Collectible. So we do have the real thing, Budweiser, on the paint scheme. Bill Elliott drove that car. And right here, I did go see a Busch and truck race at the Milwaukee Mile back in 2009. For some reason, they had 2007 cars for sale, so got that. Oh, and can't forget the King, Richard Petty, still in the packaging here. Just a classic. I really enjoyed going back down memory lane. There are just so many awesome cars in this collection. Now, before I wrap it up, I want to show you my favorites. Now, for the purposes of this, I will tell you the cars that are still in the packaging and some of those bigger 124 scale cars are not included. It's just the loose 164 scale cars. I've narrowed it down to my top 10. Coming in at number 10, I've got Denny Hamlin's number 11 scheme from 2006. Really simple, really like it. At number 9, I've got Michael Waltrip's number 15 Napa car. Again, drove it to 2 Daytona 500 victories. Really simple, really good looking color scheme. At number 8, I've got Martin Truex Jr.'s number 1 car. He ran part-time back in 2005. Love the color on this, and look at this nice touch down here. I don't know if you can see it, but that's camo down there. Looks good. At number 7, this is more of a sentimental value, nostalgic car for me. This is my first Cup race ever, the 2005 UAW GM Quality 500 at Charlotte. Love the design, love the color scheme. Good car all around. More nostalgia and sentimental value here at number 6. My first race ever was the Busch race at Darlington in 2005. Another great color scheme and design, and you just can't beat nostalgia. More nostalgia, number 5. Kenny Wallace's number 23 Stacker 2 car. Really love the design on this, and you saw that picture of Kid Will. He had this car on his cake, so it really means something. You saw this in the thumbnail, number 4. I've got Jeff Gordon's number 24 DuPont 200-year anniversary car. It's really special, really cool. Number 3, again, going back to 2005, my first year watching full-time. Greg Biffle won in this car a lot, but I also think the color scheme is really cool. The way they incorporate the design of the National Guard on here. They've got some nice America theme in the background while also working in Post-it notes up front. Number 2, throwback scheme. Mountain Dew, Dale Jr. ran this at Darlington in 2008. Throwback to what Darrell Waltrip ran in the 80s. That's a cool looking car. And number 1, I have 12 versions of this car, so expect anything else. Jeff Gordon's Flames car that he ran back in the 2000s with DuPont. Not an easy decision because there are just so many cool cars on this table, but that's the top 10 list I'm going with today. Ask me again tomorrow, it might be a little different. But hey, I want to know what you think, so be sure to leave me a comment down below. Let me know what some of your favorite cars in this collection are. Would love to hear that feedback from you guys. And honestly, it's just kind of boggles my mind to think I had all these cars growing up as a kid. It really puts it into perspective when you lay it all out on the table like this. But it's been a lot of fun revisiting this collection and seeing everything I had. And thank you guys for watching along the way. That's it for this video. Y'all have a good one.